Hey YouTube. The reason for this video is to talk about sneak attacks, covert attacks. When you're not aware of being attacked, it's a form of like a covert attack according to the military. Um, you're not really aware of the attack at all. You're somewhat oblivious to it. Like I always said, there is always people watching us, looking at us, monitoring our day to day activity. Sometimes we're so out of it that we're not aware of who, what we are around because we're caught up in the illumination of certain things. Our eyesight, remember I told you about Free Guy, Free Man, or whatever the movie was, somewhat similar to the same thing, where you are not aware of what's happening around you. Everything is going crazy, but you're not really aware of it. Maybe it's not going crazy, but you're not aware. You're not awakened to it. You're blind. You're in a blinded, dumbfounded state. Like, remember how Eve them didn't even know they were naked? That type of state, you know, where you can't really stop what's happening to you. You can't really stop what's going on. Sometimes you're emotionless, like you're dead. Um, when I say motionless, you can't move, so your body, you're just stuck. You can't move. You're stuck. You can't physically combat what's actually happening to you or what's going on with you and stuff like that. Those states are really tough to deal with. Um, but you're gonna have to deal with what you can see and sometimes try to get back to what you can't see. Um, and although what you can't see feels that it's in a better state, I have seen that's in the background worse than what you're going through with the illumination. So it's horrible to say it. Like certain people feel like, oh well, because you're not on the same level they're on, or because you're not seeing the same thing as they're seeing, that they're in a better place. That's not always true. Sometimes they're in a worse state than you are in, mentally, physically, emotionally, and everything. They're in a worse state because they're dealing with the covert attacks. Covert attacks are sneak attacks that you're not aware of. To I call that a form of dark psychology, where you're being manipulated to think a certain way, or to do bodily harm a certain way, or to manipulate it into trying to harm yourself. Remember, I told you anything that's sane works on self preservation. So it will always choose self preservation over anything else. What this means is you will never see a person that's sane can actually harm themselves, or do a form of harm to themselves without feeling some kind of way about it, because of the fact that their human body, mind, thought process focus on self preservation, preserving the body, preserving the mind, preserving the soul. So certain things they are not going to entertain into. I think I said this before, like behaviors they're not going to entertain into. Anything that will risk their life, they're not going to be a part of it at all. But now you have these covert attacks. Covert attacks. It's like a million of them. One is a covert attack. You can be asleep. They're covert attacking you. Trying to get you to do things that you're not supposed to be doing and stuff like that. If they can't get you to do it, they do it to you and say that you did it to yourself. So these are forms of covert attacks. Um, these type of behaviors happen constantly, especially in our state where we are in a blinded state where we can't really see or understand everything that's around us. We're not given that opportunity to see, understand, feel, grasp, touch, or know everything that's going on around. So, a lot of people offer people up as sacrifices for these purposes, or grab people, kidnap people, children, women, anybody for these purposes. A lot of times children are very vulnerable because of the simple fact a child has zero understanding to what is really taking place with them. Adults go through it too because they put them in a dumbfounded state. There are drugs that can actually assist with memory enhancement as well as memory decrease. So you may find yourself losing your memory and you can't understand why you're losing your memory because you have certain drugs being admitted into your body without your permission that's causing you to start to dwindle in your memory. So people are doing stuff to you, but you can't remember it. You got drugs, you have devices, you have all these different technology, all these different things that are being done to you. So with the drug, the technology, and the dark psychology, all of this stuff working together, it's all preventing your advancement. It's all preventing you from remembering. Remember when they said history is bound to repeat itself if you don't remember? That is very true. But then you have other people sitting up there, oh, forgive and forget, forgive and forget. Let me tell you something. You can forgive. That does not mean that you need to forget anything. I don't believe in forgiving. I believe that if I feel like if I forgive you for anything that you've done, it, if it was a small sin, it really doesn't matter, you know. But intentional sins always matter because you knew what you were doing and you consistently kept doing it to this person without their permission. I can honestly say what really woke me up to that there was more stuff going on around me was when I sat up there and I was looking at my son and I called him Patrick. And he said, my name isn't Patrick, my name is Anthony. That woke me up because I'm like, hmm. So I was thinking like he's joking because he does like the music and the rap thing, you know. So I'm like, okay, all right, all right, Anthony. If that's what you want me to call you, I named you Patrick, but if you want me to call me Anthony, and that's one way. You seen what I just did? That was one way of me not acknowledging the state in which I was in. And that was one way of me blanking it out and continuing on with my day, ignoring all the signs, ignoring everything that says there's something wrong, ignoring things that says, okay, well, something's not right here. And a lot of times that's what we do as people. We begin to ignore the warning signs. You cannot continuously ignore these warning signs. At the job, certain people are saying certain things. You're ignoring the warning signs. And truth be told, their state may not even be better than yours because obviously y'all at the same place. One is no better than the other, but at the same time, you're not aware. You're not fully awakened. You're not fully aware. You're seeing images change. You're seeing the blurs. You're seeing. I know a lot of people went through this where they seen the blurring, and like a body figure, like the dimensions are breaking, and then you see a body figure. You're seeing people in the background. You're seeing lodges. You're probably seeing a bunch of people like as if they're sitting in churches or whatever the case may be, and you're just right there. You don't know what's going on. You don't know what's happening. You're just stuck. Don't get concerned. Don't get worried. Don't get upset or whatever. Another thing I tell you too, you have a lot of different states in which you'll be raped or whatever the case may be. Report it. Report it. It's happening to you. Report it. Even if there's no proof of rape, if everything looks normal, it's not normal. You're actually being raped. They will lie in the background, the front ground. However you want to, I'm just trying to find terminology that'll make it somewhat simpler. They have specific terminology for these things. I don't know the protocol for them. I wasn't educated on any of this stuff. But at the same time, I'm very much aware that they have terminology for it. They have companies that actually deal with it. I was woken up and aware to the fact that they have actual companies that actually deal with these states. in which people are probably being put in and go through. The biggest thing is you will know. So you're in your kitchen, minding your business and stuff like that. You got people tapping you on the head and stuff like that, laughing and joking and all this different stuff. And it's nothing funny about the state that you're in. It's nothing funny about what you're going through. And some of these people, you can tell that you already know these people. These people have interacted with you in your day to day activity, but they are not for you. Don't think when you wake up that they're for you. They're ready to put you right back in that same state because this is how they advance. This is how they had. Or even if this is not how they had, this is the state in which they want you in so they can say that they have a punching bag or somebody to sit up there and prey on. So be careful. Um, Remember, these covert attacks, and that's what it is. It's a covert attack. When a military calls it covert attack. So when you heard of the covert disease, it was an attack on the people.